It's your boy Jimmy. Oh, whoa, no, 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 no. Straight from y'all, street to Wall Street. Anybody tells you that money is the root of all evil doesn't have any. Whoa, no. Dude wake up, get that girl hyped up just to get a little bit. The only woman in the morning wanna turn on his Becky quick. While the average man's looking at curves like she fine as heck. I'm over here looking at tails and wicks like buy or sell. I left the chaos for the market. Nah, I don't want a street spot, I want a stock pick. I know the style got flair, trigger my stop losses, but I ain't got time for distractions. My Vivo with PFs crossing, rich with high trades, I'm pushing high keys, strategies and plans to make grand. Still in my tank top, Batman pajamas, house slides in about 5 hot picks of the day, cause I like the way the dial moves. For hot dips on call, so I got options. 2 with a lot of volume, 1 with a double bottom. Now I know some folks don't understand. Am I talking about my trade or just thinking with my Mac day? You see we're different in the way we move. You move with kittens and your dogs, I move with bears and bulls. I got a green thumb, I grow with the market. Waking up with the future, stacking up some commas. I jump out of bed, make profit, eat my bacon and eggs, make profit, light up watching them candles, make profit, while I'm still in my sandals, making profit. They used to watch me move dance, roll style. Now I watch moves in the Nasdaq. Used to run from the ATF and the car. Now I run down ETF and make profit. I jump out of bed, make profit, eat my bacon and eggs, make profit. While I'm watching them candles, while I'm still in my sandals, making profit. See me and Jim Cramer been talking mad money. He said today I'm taking the risk, they got the feds coming, but I got support here with me. I call it a short squeeze. You get the drop, she pulls the trigger and shuts it down. If she stays on my watch list, I might have to keep her, but I know better. I'm a true trading group lifer. Go ahead, be bold. Trader, get your squad head. I'll double top that guy, head and shoulders. Hit him up with this resistance. Watch him roll over, cause I see big moves in contracts. If I say I made 1 million a day, well, that's a large cap. You moving average, that's why you get calls, get split, get delisted and knocked off. And I'm setting the whole block off. I'm buying GameStop and selling them roadblocks off. Jump out of bed, eat my bacon and eggs, light up watching them candles, while I'm still in my sandals. They used to watch me move them packs, bro, stop it. Now I watch moves in the Nasdaq, profits. Used to run from the ATF and the cops. Now I run down ETFs. Hey, my plug that we don't trade. Right, what we do, man. Hey, Prada, hey, Suge, Mike. What we doing, dog?
Make profit.
That TTG money gang. We making profit. We some snipers.
Woo! Woo! What's up? Hey, yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome you all to the True Trading live stream. What a Sunday evening it is, as the situation in the Middle East continues to escalate, not de-escalate, and oil prices continue to surge. Oil now well over $100 a barrel. We are getting awfully close to kind of the panic levels. And listen, what I will also say before we get things started here is what's going to matter a lot. The thing that's going to matter most as we go forward over the next, couple of days to a couple of weeks, the thing that's going to matter most is not just necessarily how high oil prices go, but how long do they stay there? That is going to be the real deciding factor on just how deep of a pullback that we're going to get in this market. And as we sit here on this Sunday evening, obviously we're down 2% on the Nasdaq. We're down, 1.5 to 2% on the S&P. And I'm going to get into tonight with you exactly what I'm expecting from the market this week. You also have inflation data coming out this week. You've got a GDP revision, PCE, CPI data, job openings. So we are going to be getting this whole slew of economic data here as well. But I got to be honest with you, with everything that's going on with the price of oil, I really think that those economic data points might carry a little bit less weight this week than they otherwise would have. We would have been paying a lot more attention to the CPI data and the PCE data this week, but I don't necessarily think that number matters all that much anymore. And the reason for that is because that is backward looking, right? The CPI and PCE data that we're going to be getting this week is from the previous months. That is before oil has shot to over $100 a barrel. So even if you have a situation where you get a good PCE number or a good CPI number, it doesn't necessarily matter because that's before the oil price shock. And if oil were to stay exactly where it is right now and just stay there for the next like 1 to 3 months or so, you're talking about a CPI number that pushes up, that just based on that, if there was no other inflationary pressure, if it's just based on the price of oil, you're talking about a CPI number that pushes you back up to like maybe somewhere in the 3.5 to 3.9 range. If oil goes to, let's say, 125, you're talking about over 4%. If it goes to like a 150, you're talking about CPI that can push back over 5%. And if that's the case, then the Fed's not going to be able to cut rates. So this is what I mean by the amount of time that oil stays elevated. I think oil has to very soon, oil is going to have to drop back into like the 70s. How that takes place, I don't know. When that takes place, I don't know. I'm not trying to sit here on this live stream and try to make predictions of when oil is going to go back down. It really is going to determine on what happens in the Middle East. And the longer that oil prices stay above $100 a barrel, the more problematic then that there becomes. So I am really excited to be back in the driver's seat this week. I took the last 2 weeks off. I wasn't trading the last 2 weeks. I messed around. I was trading some futures a little bit when I was over the last 2 weeks. And the reason why I wasn't active was because I just had a baby. Well, my wife did the hard part. Okay. But I just had my son, my second child. I have a 19-month-old daughter. And now we welcomed a newborn son just less than 2 weeks ago. So I took the last 2 weeks off. But I'm really, really excited to get myself back into the driver's seat because the volatility is through the roof. There is an unbelievable amount of opportunity to make money in this market. Higher volatility means bigger moves in shorter periods of time. That means better money-making opportunities for us as traders. It means a lot less back and forth choppy action, and it means a lot more directional momentum down, directional momentum when you get relief bounces, directional momentum back to the downside when the trend continues. So I'm really excited to get myself back into form this week, and I couldn't have been asking for a better time to do so. I've also mentioned to you guys over my last couple of live streams, if you have followed this YouTube channel for a while, I came on this live stream the first Sunday of February, and I told you at that time, it was this day, okay, it was on this, where were we? This live stream here, right? It was right after this day. Okay, so it was the very first live stream for going into the month of February. And I told you guys that I was expecting a red month of February. Go back and watch the live streams. You don't have to just take my word for it. And matter of fact, I don't expect or want you guys to just take my word for it. All of my streams are on this channel. You can go back and watch them at any time. I did a live stream here on February, was it 2nd? Or February, what is this? This was Friday. So this was the Monday. Yes, February 1st. So February 1st was when I did the live stream, and I told you guys that I was expecting a red month of February. And then we got short. We started going short. We were, predominantly long for, all of 2025 and into 2026, with obviously just intermittent shorts kind of mixed in between. But then we turned decisively short in the month of February. We did very, very well. And we actually, one of my biggest trades so far this year was actually like a 160-point move to the downside on futures. We caught that trade. We actually got in and out of it 3 different times. It was a huge trade for us. And if you've been following my live streams over the last couple of weeks, I've continued to say I remain bearish. We went through a very big multi-month long distribution channel. When distribution starts to happen at the top of a big uptrend and you have very clear, obvious resistance where the distribution takes place into, it looks like a topping pattern, a topping signal. And I've been telling you for now a while that it looks to me like the markets have been ready to top out. We have broken out of that box of distribution that we've been experiencing for the last couple of months. And we've broken out of it decisively, definitively with catalysts and volume. So I remain bearish. Okay. We are going to be getting into and testing the first major support level throughout this break. Okay. Our first major break was in the low 670s. If you guys are trading this SPY, we'll go into some futures levels as well. That was your first major support level that needed to break in order for the trend to then crack and give you a new downtrend and break out of the distribution channel that we've been in. And I'll get into the charts in just a little bit. I'm just giving you kind of an overview of what we're going to discuss tonight, but I'll get in a lot more detail about the analysis, the charts, and everything else, what I think is going to be taking place. Now that we've broken that level, your next support, okay, your next support level, we're going to be looking down into the low 650s. Aaron says, oh, horse shit. I think they're saying, oh, horse shit, based on like what I was telling you guys about the trades that we made to the short side. And I'll just verify just for people that are on here that are all the people that are on here that are not members of your trading group, that maybe don't know anything about what goes on inside of the community because you're not there. Members of True Trading Group, for my man Aaron, I want you guys to shout out right now and tell Aaron yes or no. Is it true or false? Did we or did we not catch a 160 something point move to the downside on futures? It's not that crazy. It's not that unheard of. It happens pretty frequently. So all of our members that are here with us that made money on that trade, that have been following this live stream, and been following the community for a while, you guys can just say true or false, yes or no for my man Aaron over there. Say it real loud for Aaron in the back, who obviously did not take advantage of that move and was not there to hear any of the analysis. And it's okay. I don't blame you, Aaron. I'm not trying to sit here and be like a Monday morning quarterback. All of my analysis is on this YouTube channel. You can go back and you can watch it at any time. I come on here. I don't tell you what already happened. I tell you what I think is going to happen. I put my neck out there. I'm not going to be right all the time. I don't claim to be right all the time. I do not have a 100% win rate. Yes, I'm a damn good trader. I've been doing this for 20 years, but I'm also wrong sometimes. Okay. Like I make red trades. I don't get it right all the time. I'm human. But so I'm not just sitting here trying to pretend to be Monday morning quarterback. If you went back and watched any of my live streams, you would see that we turned bearish in the month of February. It is what it is. If you didn't see it, you didn't see it. Whatever it is, you're here now. So let me just see here real quick. All right. So that's that. So we're going to get in here. We're going to get ready tonight. We're coming up to a major support level, right? We're going to be coming up to a major support level that we're going to discuss, and we'll go over, what I think the market's going to be doing here. And if you guys read my market outlook report for 2026, it's a free report that all members of True Trading Group get. I publish it every year. I go through what I think the markets are going to do, and I go through, what sectors I like best, what stocks I'm buying, what stocks I'm selling. And I mentioned to you guys in that report that I expect a correction this year. And it seems very, 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 very possible that this is the correction. Okay. So what I want you guys to really start to do is it's really time to get serious about this. Okay. It's really time to get serious about this. Okay. Because you're going into a very, a crucial period for the market. You really are. You're going through a very crucial period for the market. And you're going to be getting into some major support levels. And you're also going to be teetering with a longer term oil price shock. And longer term oil price shocks tend to, in the past, preceded recessions. And when you have an economy that is already fragile and you get a big shock in oil prices, in the past, that has been the catalyst, that is the straw that has broke the camel's back. It's not a matter of how high oil prices go. It's a matter of how long they stay there. That is why over the course of the next couple of weeks, we're coming up to a very critical point. Because if oil prices come back down in the next 2 weeks, I think we'll be just fine. But if we fast forward a month and a half from now and oil is above $100 a barrel, then we've got much bigger problems. And I want you guys to not just sit back and listen. I don't sugarcoat anything on my live streams. I tell you exactly how it is. I tell you exactly what I think. I tell you exactly what I'm doing with my own money, right? But we're going to be getting to a point where we're going to test major technical support levels. At the same time, you have this massive macroeconomic catalyst that is looming over everybody's head while you're going into midterm elections, while you are going into a new Fed chair that is going to want to cut rates, but if inflation is at 4.5%, they're not going to be able to. And then you have an administration that is certainly not going to want to be blamed for a recession going into the midterms. So you have a lot of wild cards that are out there right now on the table, a lot. And there's a couple different ways that this can all go. So in a period like this, when you get into these periods of uncertainty, and that's what the market hates more than anything, the market hates uncertainty. The market doesn't necessarily hate bad news. The market, if it can see through the bad news, the market can price it out and the markets can get comfortable with the situation at hand actually pretty easily. When the market gets the most upset, it's when the market can't see into the future, because that's what the stock market is. It's a forward-looking mechanism that prices 6-9 months into the future. If it cannot see past that, it throws a tizzy. Okay, it just throws this little hissy fit. All right, like my 19-month-old is starting to do, because she wants my wife's attention when she's trying to feed my son, right? So the market's getting into these little temper tantrums, okay? And right now, nobody knows how long this situation is going to go on for. That's the uncertainty that's causing the volatility that you're seeing red on your screen every single day. If that uncertainty was to go away or subside, then you would see the markets then be able to reprice effectively, and the volatility would slow down. So right now it's a race against the clock. But in the meantime, while we are trying to see what the outcome of this situation is, we are going to have phenomenal money-making opportunities in front of us. And I'm telling you this now, the course of the next couple weeks, this is your chance to raise a bunch of capital through trading, day trades, swing trades, make money in this market, and then use that capital to then deploy in your long-term portfolio. I told you at the beginning of this year, I will be buying a correction in this market. That still remains to be the case. There is a couple of certain things that would make me not buy a correction, and I can get into that at another time, but we're far away from that point, so I don't need to discuss it at this time. But as it stands today, I am still a buyer of a correction. We have not yet had a correction. We are in the middle of a pullback, okay? So I am going to be getting ready with my shopping list. I'm going to make money over the next couple of weeks trading this volatility because it's phenomenal. And then I'm going to use the capital I'm going to use the profit that I'm going to generate over the next couple of weeks, God willing, right? I'm very confident in my skill to be able to do this. This is not my first rodeo. I've been trading for 20 years. Okay. So I'm getting myself ready to really make money from this environment. And then we'll use that profit to then roll into some other positions in the long-term portfolio that I really, really love long-term. And I think will be some prices that we're going to really be able to be happy about and excited about. I've heard for the last 3 months from every single person, the market's too expensive. The market's too expensive. The market's too expensive. Well, the market's about to get a whole lot freaking cheaper. So if you were complaining when the markets were expensive a month ago, then you better not be complaining when the market's down 10%. I'm just putting that out there, right? This is the catalyst that is going to give us much better entry points in our long-term portfolio. So I'm still on that track. I'm still on that path because I'm still of the belief that we're going to see this massive spike in oil prices, but I don't think the spike in oil prices are going to last for, let's say, 2 or 3 months. I think maybe the oil price shock lasts for a few weeks, and I'm hopeful that a few weeks of an oil price shock might not be enough to derail the economy and kind of push us into a recession. But if that's not the case, if it turns out a month and a half, 2 months from now, we still have oil at 110, then I'm going to feel very differently about that. And I will communicate that to you all. I will let all of you know that, and I'll be making moves in my portfolio accordingly if in fact that is the case. But that's then. Let's talk about now and how we're going to make money this week. If you guys are new to True Trading Group, but you're new to this platform, this YouTube channel, I want to welcome you guys. My name is Michael Edward Parinati. I go by Michael Edward. I'm the co-founder and the head trader of True Trading Group. You need to understand that True Trading Group literally exists to help you guys to learn faster, trade smarter, and profit sooner. It's what we're going to do here tonight in the stream. True Trading Group is not a chat room with a bunch of trade alerts and courses. Yes, we have those things. Okay, but True Trading Group is an entire fintech platform for retail traders. It arms retail traders with the industry-leading AI suite of trading tools and assistance that is the recipient of the Benzinga FinTech Award for Best AI Analysis Tools. We are very proud to be powered by our partners at the Nasdaq, Benzinga, OpenAI, TradingView, DataBento, and of course also Unusual Whales, all partners of True Trading Group, working partners of this company that allow us to build out the fintech tools and resources that our members have access to on our platform, on our site, that give them, the data, the analytics, the resources that they need to make better decisions and therefore increase their consistency and profitability. This is a platform that's built in education, that's backed by experience, strategies that are proven through success, and tools that actually think and are customized to you, the individual user. Doesn't matter how much money you have, how much time you have. It's going to teach you exists to help you guys to make money. And that's what we're going to do here tonight. All right. Now, if this is your first time on the stream, subscribe, smash the like button, show some love, turn on your notifications. Don't ever miss out on any of these streams because I give you guys golden nuggets, free lessons, analysis, commentary. I share with you my positions and analysis. Again, I'm not a Monday morning quarterback, guys. I don't tell you what happened in the past. I tell you what I think is going to happen in the future. I stick my neck out there. I don't mind doing that because, listen, when I'm right very publicly. And when I'm wrong, I'm also wrong very publicly. But I'm confident enough in what I do and my skill, my track record to tell you what I think is going to happen, right? Like that's really what this is all about. I come on here, I share my thoughts and my ideas and my analysis. I tell you the positions that I'm in and the positions that I'm getting into. That's what we're going to do here tonight on the stream, all right? So first thing I want you to do is make sure you're watching this video live, okay? I want you to make sure you watch this video live. You should see a red dot next to the word live at the bottom left of your screen, okay? Right? So I want you to look down bottom left. You should see a red dot next to the word live. Okay. If you don't, click the word live. That'll bring you guys back up to speed. All right. Otherwise, you'll be watching this delayed. Now, those of you that are new might be wondering, well, who is this guy and why should I pay attention to anything it is that he says? Maybe you're not a Yankee fan. You're like, I don't want to listen to this guy. I don't blame you. Okay. I don't blame you. But the reason why I think that you should pay attention to what I discuss on these streams, guys, it's not because I claim to be the world's greatest trader. Yes, I'm a damn good one, but I'm not the best. The reason why I think you should pay attention to the stuff that I discuss on this live stream is because I didn't have to figure this stuff out on my own. I didn't have to watch YouTube videos. I didn't have to sit in Discords or Reddit boards. I began my trading career working at T3 Alpha Fund in New York City. It was my first job at a college. They had me go through a training program before the fund let me touch $1 of their money. And then shortly after that, we had the Great Recession and the crash of 2008. But 2008 was actually the year that I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. So I got my start in trading by learning from professionals working at a fund in New York City. I didn't have to kind of go through and make all the early mistakes that a lot of retail investors make as they go through YouTube videos and they go on Discords and everything else. So I was very fortunate that I was trained by professionals right out of the gate, and I got to kind of leapfrog the learning curve, so to speak. So that's why I think you guys should pay attention to the stuff that I talk about here. Also, I've been trading now for around 20 years. And the mods and I collectively, it's not just me at True Trading Group. Okay, True Trading Group has 7 other professional traders that are moderators that share their screens with you. They trade with you live. They answer questions. They share their commentary throughout the day. But the mods and I collectively as a group maintain a cumulative win rate of just around 80%, and going on roughly the last 6 years. Okay, we track every single trade we make. We track all of our entries, all of our take profits, our stop losses. We track our green trades, our red trades, our break-even trades. It's all fully transparent right there for you, uploaded from our brokerage accounts onto the TTG website so that you guys can see full transparency of all the transactions it is that we are making. We're an open book here at TTG. Okay, but you fast forward now today, and like I said, I'm the co-founder and head trader of True Trading Group, and along with my team of those 7 professional traders and over 30-person staff, we've helped thousands of members from all over the world to reach their goals. True Trading Group has over 10,000, I think nearly 11,000 members now from 114 different countries. Okay, so this truly is a global community. We day trade, we swing trade, we cover long-term investing as well. We do stocks, options, crypto, and futures. So there's literally something for everybody, no matter who you are, what your style or experience level is, what your risk is. There's something for you here at True Trading Group. Okay. So with that being said, subscribe, smash the like button, show some love, turn on notifications. Make sure you guys never miss out on any of these live streams, especially right now. Okay, especially right now when we have all of this, craziness going on. Okay, now let's just kind of get right into it. Right, let's get right into it. I want to just show something here. I want to show something here real quick for the people that are on this live stream that are maybe a little nervous. Are there anybody on here that's a little bit nervous right now? Anybody on here that's a little bit scared or unsure, is a little bit nervous? It's okay if you are. right? It's totally okay if you are. Just be honest. If you guys are, are you nervous? Are you a little worried? Are you concerned? Are you scared a little bit? And I don't fault you if you are. I really don't. I don't fault you if you are at all. But be honest. Be honest with everything. If you guys are, and if that is the case, right? So yes, yes, of course, me, right? Pissed. You shouldn't. Nope. I'm so ready. I'm loving it. Yes, I'm nervous. I'm not nervous anymore that I'm a member of True Trading Group. Looking forward to Volatility Week. I just wish I had more than 19% cash. Yes, I'm hungry for taco. Yeah, guys, listen, I'll tell you this. What we do on this YouTube channel, like someone said, like I'm pissed. It's not, listen, I'm not even, you might be pissed maybe for reasons outside of like the stock market, maybe, but my job here on this YouTube channel is not to necessarily give, this is not a political channel, right? I don't give you, political insight or anything like that. I give you, this is what I think the market's going to do based on the things that are happening in front of us. And you should not be pissed. If you are a market participant right now, you should not be pissed. You should be really, really freaking excited. And I mean that so sincerely. I don't mean that as like a gimmick, or I don't mean that as a sales tactic. I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ass. I'm being dead serious. If you are a market participant, you should be very, very excited about what is taking place right now in the market I'm talking about, right? Because that's what we do here. You guys are on this channel right now to figure out how to make money in the market, right? So everything that I do in True Trading Group and on this channel is to help guide you guys through how you can position yourself to make money from what's happening in the market. Okay. It doesn't matter what it is that's causing the things to happen. It's how can we make money from this? And that's exactly what we do at True Trading Group, right? And don't take my word for it. I don't want you to take my word for it. Just because I'm some guy with a YouTube channel doesn't mean you should believe everything it is that I say. What I want you to do is I want you to listen to members themselves, members of True Trading Group, members of TTG. If you guys are making money, you're becoming better traders because of this platform, I want you to go ahead and type the number 1 in chat right now. And every single person that you're about to see type the number 1 in chat that is a member of True Trading Group, none of them are nervous. None of them are worried. None of them are pissed. They're all excited. They're all foaming at the mouth because these are the environments where active traders make the most money. And I don't mean to sound, I'm not trying to make this a sales tactic. I'm being dead serious. Volatility is a trader's best friend. Look, these are all members of True Trading Group telling you that they are making money. They're not nervous. They're not scared. They are excited for the market to open tomorrow because they know the volatility creates a ton of opportunity. We crushed it in the month of February. I told you we switched up. We went short in the month of February. We caught several triple-digit gains with put options with a bunch of our other moderators. I personally don't trade options, but our other moderators do. I trade equities and futures, but we have other moderators that trade futures as well. We have other moderators that trade equities. We have other moderators that trade options. There's literally something for everybody in True Trading Group. There's mods that trade single leg options, multi-leg options. We have literally everybody. Or all different types of trading styles for depending on your style and your strategy as the user. There's always a professional trader that's part of TG that you guys can follow and you can kind of latch onto and you can kind of get guidance and get mentored from. But I'm excited for what we have going on. Yeah, see, look, all these people right now. You see all these comments that are coming through right now from members, and I think that's really the big difference when you have stuff like this, right? When you have stuff like this. When you have like catalysts like this that happen, this is one of those outlier events, right? This is like an outlier. This is like one of those outlier events. We got a comment here real quick on the screen. Mike, I made a special video for those who don't believe or don't know. I opened a second brokerage account and whole week I used Holy Grail. And at the moment I am up 238% for the entire account. Wow. Arthur, that's amazing. Arthur, that is absolutely freaking amazing. Oh, active trader mode. Active trader mode. Used Holy Grail and active trader mode. Wow. So real quick, let me just touch upon this comment real quick, and then I'll get back to what I was just discussing. So this is a member right here, guys. HG is Holy Grail and ATM is active trader mode. Those are two of our newest AI tools that we have released in the True Trading Group platform that that our members now have access to, that they're using to come up with trade ideas and to actually execute trades. So the Holy Grail, essentially what the Holy Grail does, I'll give you a quick little overview of what this tool does. You would essentially just say, this is what do you want to trade and how much are you willing to risk? So you would say, I want to trade options on the SPY. I want to risk $500 and I want a day trade. So you would just say, what do you want to trade? How much do you want to risk? And what type of trade do you want? A day trade, a scalp, a swing trade, whatever you want, right? And then you would just put that into the tool. You click run analysis, and then it will run, okay? This is a real algorithm that we have built out here inside of True Trading Group that is, based on a lot of the rule sets and parameters, criteria of the trading style that I implement and that I teach, that I've learned over the last 20 years. And that will then generate for you a very detailed and specific trading plan with conviction level gauges of how to trade that particular instrument that you're looking for. So if you typed in, hey, I want to trade SPY options, $500 risk, I want a day trade. You would plug it into Holy Grail. It would then tell you, okay, buy, we're going to go for, we like an 80% confidence for a short. You're going to buy put options. This is the strike. This is the expiration date. This is the price you want to get in. This is your stop loss. These are your profit targets. And we have an 80% confidence in the analysis of this trade setup. And then the user takes that information and then rolls into what's called active trader mode. And that's another one of our AI tools. And then that trading plan is uploaded into our AI system. And then it can actually go through and it can either guide our member through the trade themselves, or you can actually get to the point where you guys have the ability to have the AI actually execute the trading plan for you. If you guys are busy with work, or you got to pick your kid up from school, or you have to leave, you're in traffic, you can have the AI execute the trade for you in your brokerage account. Okay. So these are all of the new tools that we have available here at True Trading Group. It's part of the reason why so many of our members are doing well and making money, like you saw when I asked the question just a moment ago. And that's what this member, Arthur, is talking about. So I was sitting on the sideline. Then on Wednesday, I went to our professor's Red to Green and I scalped the SPY on Thursday. I made over $4,000. Then on Friday, I made $2,100. So this is real. And no, it was on an $8,000 account. Chief this, congratulations. There's another member right there telling you their success with those tools. Guys, again, these are real people, real members using these tools. We think of True Trading Group as like the TTG terminal. You have the Bloomberg terminal for professionals. You got the TTG terminal for retail. It gives members and retail traders different tools, resources, data, and analytics that can help them make better decisions and increase their profitability and their success. That's the reason why True Trading Group has a member retention rate that's well into the 70s. And we have a refund rate that's literally less than 2.5%. Okay. And that's how we have about 11,000 members from 114 different countries. And that's why we have the partnerships with all the companies that we do, like OpenAI, Benzinga, Unusual Whales, TradingView, DataBento. That's why those Nasdaq, that's why those companies work with us, right? How many, I'm just curious. And this is, listen, if you used to be a TTG member and you're not a member anymore, so much has changed. You guys wouldn't even probably recognize the platform with all the different tools and resources you have available now. How many lifetime members are on here? If you guys are a lifetime member of True Trading Group, can you type the number of years that you have been a member of TTG? Just type the number of years that you have been a member. I want to see how many people we have in here, how long you guys have been members of True Trading Group. Again, just go ahead and type the number of years that you have been a member of TTG. Look at this, 5, 4, 4, 5, 5. Look at all these fives. Wow. 4, 5, 4.5, 6, 6, 5, 5.5, more than 4 years, 5 years, 5 years, another 5, 5. Look at a lot of fives, lots of fives. Incredible. Incredible. I think that says a lot, right? I think that says a lot when you see members that have been here for this long. You got to ask yourself, why are they here for this long, right? Why would you be a member of somewhere for 5 or 6 years if you weren't making money? Right? The answer is very simple. Why these people are here for the amount of time that they are. It's because it works. It's the ultimate testament to whether or not this platform can help you make money is how long our members are active on the platform, because the only reason they would be active is if they're doing well. Most other platforms, some of you might have experienced it. You join some community, you don't make any money and you cancel your membership. You're not going to stay. You're certainly not going to stay for 5 years or 6 years if you're finding no value and you're not making any money from the platform. So I think it's the greatest testament to what it is that we have at True Trading Group is how long that our members stay with us for. That's my opinion. How many people are on here right now that are not members? Curious. If you're not a member, can you type the letters TTG, please, guys? Just type the letters TTG if you're not a member of True Trading Group. We have over 2,000 people that are on this live. So I know we have a lot of members, but I know we have a lot of non-members here as well. But if you're not part of the community, can you guys do me a favor? Just type the letters TTG, please. Just type the letters TTG. Eduardo, Miguel, Vader, Steve, Mark, Zella, Tina Cole. That's great. We got a lot of new faces here. And as we're going through this, guys, we do have futures are slipping down towards the low of the day. And I do expect more downside. And I'll get into where I think this market's going to head here this week. And I got a list of trade ideas that we're going to go through how we're going to make money this week as well. So I still got a lot of information I want to share with you guys. We got a lot of new faces that are with us here on the stream. Here, let me do this. I know that there's some people that are maybe, and I kind of started this live stream off with asking the question. I know there's a lot of people on here that are maybe scared. Some people in here that are nervous. I see the market selling off very rapidly, but I want to remind you that less than 1 year ago, the market sold off extremely rapidly, 15% in a matter of 3 days. And everybody was panicking. Everybody was freaking out. And it turned out to be a really good buying opportunity. There is opportunity to make money in this market, guys, right now. I'm telling you that. I listen, this is how excited I am about this week. I was not supposed to be working this week. Like I had said to you, I just had a son less than 2 weeks ago. My son was born less than 2 weeks ago. Okay. I was not supposed to be working this week. Like literally had a little mini argument with my wife where I'm like, listen, babe, I can't not trade this week. There's too much money on the table. I mean that sincerely and wholeheartedly. So if this whole situation never happened with Iran, I would not have been trading this week. I would have taken this week off. Okay. And spent time with my son and help out my wife as she recovers. My wife had a C-section, so our recovery is even longer. So, but I can't stay away from this. It's like, I just can't. I can't pass up these opportunities that I see in the market. So I want you to stay calm, want you to stay cool, want you to stay collected. Those of you that are a little bit nervous, and those of you that are not members of True Trading Group, here's what I'm going to do. In lieu of this situation, in lieu of what's happening, I don't want you guys, I want to do something real special for you guys. I want to get you guys part of the community. I want to get you guys in the group. I want to get you to start using the tools that we have. And I want you to trade through the next couple of weeks because the next couple of weeks are crucial to what is going to happen. And I don't want you to be left with your head spinning around in circles as you try to read all the different posts you see on Reddit and on X and watch 1,500 different YouTube videos. And one person says one thing, the other person says next, and you have no idea what to do. I want to get you guys into this community. I want you to do yourself a favor. Okay. I want you guys to use the tools that we have. I want you to use Mari, our trading assistant, our AI trading assistant. That's the recipient of the Benzinga FinTech Award for Best AI Analysis Tool. I want you to use all the real-time trading alerts from our mods. I want you to use our chat room, all the data, the trading view charts from TradingView, Benzinga Pro. I want you to use, our 18-course curriculum, the educational library, all the live after-hours trading workshops, our weekend workshops. I want you to use all of the things that are on the True Trading Group platform. Okay. If you are not part of True Trading Group, send a text message right now with the word start. Just text the word start to the phone number that you're going to see on the bottom of your screen. I'm going to offer those of you that are not a member of True Trading Group, I'm going to offer you a private deal that I'm not going to advertise publicly because I'm going to do something special for the people that are not yet members that want to join during this time. And I'm not going to make it public because it's going to be a better offer than we've ever advertised publicly, even on like holidays. So if you're not a member, and you are interested, I want you to do yourself a favor and send a text to 1-888-621-2127. The phone number is right down there at the bottom of your screen. Text the word START to that phone number, and you'll talk to a real person, okay? And you guys will see what it is that we're going to offer you to become a member of True Trading Group for the year and get to use the tools and resources that is allowing our members to make money. And in case you missed it, members of True Trading Group that are on this live stream, one more time, and then we're going to get into my trade ideas for the week. Type the number 1 if you guys are making money with this platform. All right, I've got my watch list for you guys here that I'm going to go over with you in just a moment. And I'm going to go over the levels for you that I think we're going to be testing in here for the markets and how I plan on trading it. We're going to get to that in just a moment. Again, if you are a member and you guys are making money with the platform, type the number 1. If you're not part of True Trading Group, text the phone number 1-888-621-2127. Again, that is 1-888-621-2127. Text the word START to that phone number now, and I will give you guys an offer that we have not ever publicly advertised. Text that number now. You don't have to trade through this on your own, guys. You don't. You don't have to panic. You don't got to freak out. You don't got to, be scared about what's taking place. Okay, this volatility is going to end up being our absolute best friend. There's going to be a lot of opportunity to make money, especially this week, which is why I told my wife I have to trade this week. I have to. I just can't help myself. All right. Again, that's 1-888-621-2127. As I take a quick check-in back here on futures, we're still down 1.8, 1.85 on ES. I expect us to go lower. And we are at the point right now where we're going to be starting to get into our next major support level. Now, if you guys caught my live stream over the last couple of weeks, I mentioned to you the support level on the SPY that sat in the low 670s. Okay. And everyone that's texting in, we have a lot of people texting in right now. Wow. Just give Adam a couple of minutes to reply. Adam is setting up an offer for everyone that's texting in. Like I said, it's going to be a special offer we're going to give you guys for tonight. It's a better deal than we've ever advertised, even for holidays. But Adam is my business partner, the co-founder of True Trading Group. You're going to talk to him directly when you text him. So just give him a moment to reply. He is setting up the special offer that we're going to give to you guys. And also, just when you do text, make sure to include your name and email and the word START. So text the word START, and then if you don't mind, text your name and email address. And that way we can know who we're talking to, and then we can respond, and we can tell you guys everything that you have available through the offer that we're going to give you tonight. All right? So again, just send a text, 1-888-621-2127. Text the word START, and your name and email address. All right? All right, folks. Let's get into the overall markets now. Let me hit on this. Your support that you had in the low 670s is obviously clearly broken. It's broken definitively, decisively with a catalyst and volume. Your next support level is what you see on my screen on the SPY. It's 652. Just call it the low 650s. Support levels are not exact defined prices. They are zones, they are areas, and the support level is the low 650s. And you guys can see, if you're looking at my chart, you can see that is the lows from November. There's the lows from October, and there's the lows from September. So you have multi-month low support here, September, October, November. And then you also have the 200-day moving average that sits there in the mid to high 650s. Okay, this is your new support level. All right. Now, this is the next area that the markets will try to bounce from a technical standpoint. I do believe that we're going to get down into this level this week. We are not too far off of it. Based on where the futures currently sit, if the cash markets were to open right now, we'd be sitting right around this mark right here, okay, with the gap down that we have. So you'd be sitting right around that zone, right around in here, around 661 or so on the SPY is right where we'd be sitting. I do believe that we're going to get deeper down into this level, and then eventually when we get down into this level, we're going to try to bounce. What you're going to need to pay attention to is the correlation between the price of oil and the price of equities. There will be a direct inverse correlation right now with oil and equities. As the price of oil continues to move higher, equities will continue to move lower. All right. But you have to pay very close attention, because what I think may end up happening, okay, what I think may end up happening is with this gap down, we're going to get down into this support level. And then you're probably going to hear something this week. Okay. I think you're going to hear something this week from the administration that's going to try to put a cap on on oil prices. You might hear about maybe a release of the SPR. You could hear about a handful of different policies that could try to put a lid on the price of oil. And if that happens, if you get a catalyst like that occurs at this support level, then I think you could get a very, very, very tradable snapback bounce and a relief rally off of this support level. And it's going to be a very, very, very good trade for us. So I think we're going to look for the markets to get overextended, look for the markets to get oversold into this support level. And then when you get into the support level, keep your ears open for some type of a policy announcement to try to put a lid on oil. And that would give you at least a temporary snapback in equities as you get a sharp pullback in oil. The situation here in oil is also a short squeeze. Okay. This is a short squeeze in oil. After the situation happened with Venezuela, you had a very large short position get built up in the price of in oil. Okay, because you were looking at Venezuelan oil coming back now onto the market, and you had deregulation in the energy sector. Everyone thought oil prices were going to go down. So you had a lot of shorts come onto oil. Then you had the situation with Iran, the Strait of Hormuz, and everything else. You have Iraq and Kuwait and all these other oil-producing Gulf countries are cutting production. You're seeing a huge drop-off in production of oil that is sending the price of oil skyrocketing, and you're getting shorts are covering all over the place. You're seeing forced liquidations in gold, silver. You're seeing forced liquidations in crypto because people are selling what they can to cover margin calls that they're getting in oil. There was a big short position. It is the perfect storm that is sending oil prices higher because the short position plus the conflict with Iran and the closure of the Strait of Hormuz and the cutting of oil production. Perfect storm for oil prices to go nuts. Okay, so I expect to see this huge gap up in oil, this big drop in equities to get a little overdone, and then see a policy announcement, and then look for a snapback off that level. Now, if you don't get any type of a policy announcement, and oil just continues to push this week, you go to 120, 125, 130, then you're going to look for this support level to break. I don't think that's going to be the case. Okay. I think it's more likely than not that we get into this support level, the low 650s, and then there is not a final bounce, meaning like, oh, that's it, the pullback is done. But I think there's a tradable bounce that we can probably catch at least one, maybe even 2 days back to the upside, similar to what you saw happen on Tuesday and Wednesday of last week. This nice big bounce reversal day that we had. We had a huge gap down there on that Tuesday. You rallied it all the way back up. You had a nice follow through to the bounce on Wednesday, and then the bottom dropped back out Thursday into Friday. And now you got the huge gap down today over the weekend. I think you can see similar price action to that where you get a nice tradable bounce. Maybe it's 2 days, and then you pull back and you reverse back to the downside. You pull it back down. So that's what I'm thinking about coming into this week. All right. So it's short early, bounce late. Okay. Look for the sell-off to continue. Let the sell-off get overdone. Let the sell-off get deep into the support level. Look for any type of a catalyst or policy change to get, because oil is getting close to the panic level. Oil is getting close to the panic level. All right. I don't think you're just going to see the administration just sit there and let oil go to 150 without doing anything. So I think you're going to see some type of an attempt to get oil prices down, and whatever that announcement is should cause a bounce in equities, and we'll be able to trade it back to the north side. But I think that bounce is short-lived. I would not hold on to that forever. I would look to hold on to it for a day, maybe two, and then take your profits off, and then you look for the pullback to then continue. All right, that's what I'm going to be doing. That's what I'm going to be looking for. All right, so now we're all clear on that. We have our support level down here in the low 650s. Right. Let's look for the sell-off to get overdone, get into it, stretch into it, right? Maybe overshoot that 200-day and then stick it in the ground. Maybe there's a little policy announcement where we try to, pull back where the price of oil tries to pull back, and that should snap equities back to the upside as we get a little bit oversold. Okay, so you would look for oil to pull back. You look for equities to move higher. Look for a direct inverse correlation between oil and equities. All right, that's my thoughts on the overall market. Short early, let the momentum take you deeper into the level. Let the panic and the escalation of the Middle East tensions, let that continue to sell equities to the downside. You have private credit concerns that are shaking things up with BlackRock and Blue Owl and all these other companies. Let that continue to just rear its ugly head. Let that get oversold. Let's get into that support level, and then we can take off short positions. We have a lot of people that are short futures from last week that are going to be peeling profits off into this down move on the gap down. Some of our traders have already taken profits off on futures on the gap down here today, but still in positions looking for a little bit more downside tomorrow. Cover into support, then look for the bounce. Okay? That's the game plan for this week. Guys, I am aware Adam has not responded to anyone that has sent in a text message just yet. Please be patient. He is literally building a special page for an offer for those of you that are texting in. I am being dead serious when I tell you. Anyone that send a text message in right now that's interested in True Trading Group, we are going to offer you a one-time deal that is better than anything that we have ever advertised publicly, that is better than any holiday offer that we have ever done. That's why I'm not saying it live on this stream, because then it's out there in the public and then people are going to want this deal all the time. I will not do it. It is only for those people that are sending a text message in right now. 1-888-621-2127. Give me your name, your email, and the word start. Texting the word start is very important because it then allows us to respond back to you. Okay? So again, I know Adam has not responded to those of you that I text in yet. He will. He's literally creating the page with the custom offer to give to you guys all here tonight. So just give him just a moment. All right. That's my analysis with regards to the overall market. Now, if that's what we think, right? If we think the overall market has a bit more downside, but then gets oversold and you look for a little bit of a relief snap back to the upside, then we have to look for individual chart setups that have room to the downside into major support that could eventually then snap back to the upside if there's any type of a policy announcement that can get the price of oil moving back down and get equity price moving back to the upside. I do think that catalyst is important. I don't know if I have the confidence to go long aggressively at this level without some type of an attempt by the administration to get oil prices down. If there's no attempt at all to get oil prices down, you might not get a very aggressive bounce. It might just kind of be a dead duck, like dead cat bounce where it's like, okay, you bounce a couple of bucks, but nothing meaningful, right? And then you'd be better off just waiting the bounce out and then shorting the bounce than you would be going long. And that's the difference. If I think there's going to be a sizable move higher, it's worth going long. If I just think you're going to get this little dead cat bounce and then you're just going to roll back over, I'm not going to go long for this little tiny move. I'll just wait and then short that bounce and then look for the continuation lower. What I'm telling you is this is a big enough support level that if there is a catalyst around oil prices that happens around this level, you should get a very tradable move higher. You probably get the SPY gives you like a $10 move, a 100-point move on futures. And that is obviously well worth the long. But if you don't get that, I probably would not take the trade long. All right. Everybody clear on that? Kind of the bigger picture, kind of macro market view. Perfect. Let's get into the individual stocks. So we're looking for stocks that have more downside into support and then have a big enough of a support level that can give us a snapback. Okay. Well, one of them is Tesla. So I want to pull up the chart of Tesla. I'm going to show you guys two levels that are very important and are very big. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at Tesla. All right. First, you have an obvious support level in the mid 380s. There's support, there's support, there's support, there's support. And here's your 200-day moving average to also add. That's the yellow line. Yellow line is the 200-day. Okay. So that also adds support. What I'm looking for is we're looking for Tesla to break this level. Okay. Look for Tesla to break this level, sell off down into this zone, and then get into this area that will be support. You can see this area used to be resistance. This is the big breakout point in the month of September. Okay. You can see here, it used to be resistance. You can see here, it used to be resistance. So this is a nice area of structure down there in the 360s. So what we're going to look for is we're going to look for Tesla to break the mid 380s, sell down through, get overextended to the downside with the overall market, and then bounce from there. Okay, so you look for Tesla to break the mid 380s for the short, get into at least 370, maybe the high 360s, cover out of the short, and then look for some type of a bottoming signal, some type of a bottoming pattern. Maybe it's a double bottom, maybe it's a hammer tail, whatever confirmation signals you use, right? We'll look for that level to confirm itself, and then you can look for a little bit of a bounce move from there. Okay, that's going to be Tesla. All right, keeping things going, we're going to go to Nvidia. Now, a lot of people missed the news that Nvidia had, or that was kind of around the AI trade on Friday at 3 o'clock. On Friday at 3 o'clock, you had Oracle and OpenAI announce they were stopping their expansion of one of their data center projects. That's not necessarily good. Meta looks like they're going to be coming in and they're going to be the tenant that's going to take over the space. So just another hyperscale will just fill it in, but that's not necessarily good news for the AI trade. And when you look at support levels here on Nvidia, you have a nice little support level right here at 176. This is right following after, from the sell-off there after the earnings. It's a 200-day moving average. And then you have this beautiful support level that's down here in the low 170s of 171. And then you have this support that's going to be down here. That's going to be around 165. Okay, and here's your support at 165. So what I'm looking for here out of Nvidia is looking for Nvidia to give you a gap down, break 175, drop to 171, take profits off at 171. If 171 breaks, you have room to 165. And then you look for a bounce off of 165 or maybe 161. All right, but I'm looking for a little bit more downside. Okay, get oversold, find key support, and then try to bounce from there. Very similar. All the setups I'm giving you right now are very similar. They all coincide with my thoughts on the overall market, which is sell off a little bit more, get oversold, reach major support, then bounce from there. All right, that's Nvidia. Then I'm going to go over. To Snowflake here, and Snowflake here is more of just a pure play short. You've had a real nice bounce on software. Software got slaughtered with like the whole AI, making software obsolete kind of fear, where software sold off for a month or two. But over the last week, software has actually rallied while the market is sold off. But I don't think that that's a new trend. Like if I go to the IGV ETF, you see this nice rally that we've had here over the last week, but that's coming off of a much bigger decline. I don't think that this is a new uptrend. I just think that it's a bounce back in a downtrend. And you could go a little bit higher, but once you get to like 91, 92, I think IGV is a short. You have the 38.2 Fibonacci level off this all-time high decline. So if you draw the Fibonacci from the all-time high down to this pivot low from February, the 38.2 Fib takes you to 92. But see this dark blue line? That's also the 50-day moving average. That also takes you to 92. So any type of a follow-through move you get on IGV into that level, I think is resistance, and I think it's shortable. So I would look for IGV short 91, 92, stops above 92. If you're going to look for the IGV for the short, then look no further than Snowflake. Snowflake has a big resistance level here around 190 to 191. You guys can see previous resistance. There's your 50-day that's coming down, acting as resistance. You have a death cross that just occurred in the month of February. And as you go back further, you can see this area used to be support. It was also a gap entry from the big gap up in May, which I believe was their earnings, if I'm not mistaken. And prior to that, it was resistance back in early 25 and early 24, right? And then here's the gap entry from the a big gap down that you had in 2024. This is a major price structure area around 190. Any bounce, any move higher on Snowflake that takes you into the 190 area, I think is shortable. So you look for to go short in front of this 50-day. You look for start that short position in the high 180s. And then if it breaks above 190, you can cover out of your short. But I think you get Snowflake, gives you a little move into here, and then gives you a pullback from there. All right. So we're looking for shorts on Snowflake in the high 180s with a stop loss above that 190 zone and above that 50-day moving average. Then I want to move on over to the land of crypto. Okay, the land of crypto. And I want to show you something on Bitcoin. One of my second biggest trade of the year was short IBIT. Okay. And we were short IBIT. We got short IBIT right here in January, and we were able to capitalize on this move to the downside. I actually missed this last. So we actually took profit. So we got short in here, and I took my profits off right here. I missed this last red day. So I did leave a little money on the table, but still it was a huge trade for us. But the setup is almost identical. It is almost identical. Look at this. Follow me, okay? Follow me. Previous support, right? So here you guys see previous support we had at 56 on IBIT. That level broke, right? Yeah, broke. You had this big sell-off. Then you had a bit of a double bottom, okay, inside of what looked like a bear flag that then broke out to the upside and gave everybody a head fake for the long, right? This was a bear flag. Here's your bear flag, right? Here's your decline. Here's your cut flag consolidation. Then you broke above it, faked everybody out long, okay? Faked everybody out long and ran right into resistance at 56. So C56 used to be support. You ran right into it, resistance, and you dropped back down into the consolidation. That was the trigger to go short. Once we fell back inside of the flag consolidation after the rejection of 56, that's your signal to go short. Then you got the rollover. Okay. That was then. This is now. Remember that setup. Okay. Well, we had support, right? We had support right here in the low 40s. That level used to be resistance, right? You broke it. You double bottomed. You put in what looked like a bear flag. Then you broke back to the upside. Head fake, faked everybody out long. Right back into resistance. And then failed and rolled back down into the consolidation. Exactly what happened here. It's the exact same setup. Head fake to the upside, run into resistance, drop back into the consolidation, sell off. Consolidate, head fake, run into resistance, drop back into consolidation. It's an identical setup. And I'm still not sure that Bitcoin is bottomed. I haven't changed that thought over the last several weeks. So with that being said, we're going to look at some of these crypto names. We're going to IBIT to possibly get down into the low 30s. Very similar type of setup to what we saw. We were looking for shorts around 39-ish, stop loss above 40. Okay. 40 and a quarter would be the stop loss. And you look for IBIT to get back to 35 and a half, and then maybe even eventually break that low and continue lower. Now, that trade is going to take, I believe, maybe a couple of weeks. I don't think that's a day trade. I think that's a trade you'd have to get into and hold for maybe 2 weeks, maybe more. So that will be a swing trade idea there on IBIT. But we can then look over at some of these crypto-related names. We can take a look at something like a Coinbase. And I think Coinbase is just going to fill in some of these levels here. You have a gap to fill on Coinbase that might get filled right off the open tomorrow morning at 185. I'm not sure where it's trading right now. Then 172 support. And I just think that Coinbase is going to fall back into that 172 support level. So we're going to look for maybe shorts on Coin. If Coin can get underneath 185, we'll be short into 170. The same thing we can look for there on MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy, similar setup here to the actual IBIT. You had what was a really big support level here. You broke underneath it. You bounced back into it. It became resistance. And we're looking for this to just continue to sell. Okay, continue to sell to the downside. We're looking for MicroStrategy back to 120. Okay, MicroStrategy back to 120. You have the 50-day moving average in here as well, also acting as resistance. And the 50-day was resistance the last time we tested it. It was also resistance right here last week. And looking for more downside there in MicroStrategy. Okay, so there you guys have it, folks. That's it. those are my trade ideas to start the week. Obviously, I'm going to be focused very heavily on the SPY. I'm also going to be watching USO like an absolute hawk. USO is going to be incredibly volatile. We're gapping up into the 120s right now. You have a massive resistance level here on USO that we have to watch for, that I'm actually going to look for a possible fade off of this level. I'm not going to just short it right out of the gate, but it's a big resistance level. You can see, if I just draw this out for you, you guys can see in 2018, that was the high of 128, 130. Prior to that, you had support there in 2015, and then you broke underneath it, and then it was resistance. There's a lot of structure here at 130. We gapped up right into that 130 zone, like 127 or so. So let's see what happens there tomorrow. This is a weekly chart, but the resistance level at 130 is a big one. Right? Again, if there is any, and I mean if there is any indication of any policy, okay, if there's any indication about a policy shift to try to get the price of oil down, and if that happens while USO is still underneath 130, you should see a real nice tradable move to the downside on USO off of 130 if that's the case. Okay, so just look for these levels to line up with some type of a catalyst this week from the administration around something with the price of oil. And if that happens, you can have a really good short on the USO in front of 130, and you can have a really good long on the SPY in front of the low 650s. And then there's the individual stocks that I just gave you for some trade ideas to start the week. Now, of course, I'm going to add to this watch list. I'm just giving you some ideas to start the week. But tomorrow morning, I'm going to wake up. We're going to see, what's the futures market look like. We're down 2% on the S&P right now. We're down more than that on the Nasdaq. We'll see if this overnight sell-off gets worse. Do we wake up tomorrow morning down 2.5% or more, or does the market bounce back a little bit into the opening bell and we find ourselves only down like 1.25 or 1%, and we get a little bit of bounce back in the overnight session? Asian markets are getting pummeled right now. The Nikkei down 3 to 5%. Last I checked, South Korea is getting slammed. So the whole world, world global markets are getting hit right now because of the price of oil. All of those countries are very heavily dependent on the oil that comes out of the Gulf, that comes out of the Strait of Hormuz. And if they're not going to be getting oil, the price of oil skyrocketing. It just hits all of those countries, all those stock markets getting hit right now, including ours. So we're going to need some type of a reversal in the Asian markets. We're going to need some type of reversal here to get the U.S. markets moving higher. And we'll see if there's any catalyst that gives it to us. I don't see one right now. That could change as the week goes on, which is why we're going to start short and we're going to look to get long late as the week goes on if there is a catalyst around oil. Okay, so that's going to be the game plan there. All right. RBL trading, just you have to send the word start. Use your RBL trading. You got to text the word start. Otherwise, we can't respond to you. Okay. So you got to text the word start so that we can reply to the message that you guys sent in. Again, those of you that are not members, you guys, we're going to offer you a very special deal right now. It's a better deal than we've ever done before. Holiday sales, any of it. I'm not going to say it publicly because I don't want to be held to it. I don't want someone to point back and be like, oh, well, you did this. It's a special offer we're going to give for people tonight that text in, considering the circumstances and everything that we have going on. All right. But if you're interested in what that offer is, you just have to send us a text message. We'll tell you what it is. My business partner and co-founder of True Trading Group, Adam, is putting together the offer for you. Just give him a moment to respond to you. There's a lot of people texting in right now. He will get to all of you. So text in 1-888-621-2127. The phone number is at the bottom of your screen. You must text the word start so we can reply to you, and give us your name and email address. Okay. And also send the number 7 in the text message right now if you are a previous member. Okay. If you are a previous member and you text that phone number, text the number 7. Okay. Text the number 7 if you are a previous member. Okay. If you are a brand new person, you've never been a member before, text the number 9. Okay. Text the number 9 if you are a brand new person. Text the number 7 if you used to be a member in the past or you used to be a trial member. We've had about 70 people, a little less than 100 people actually looks like now. We got a little less than 100 people text in, guys. That's fantastic. got a little less than 100 people that have texted in so far. So just give Adam a moment. He's going to reply back to you guys. But again, 1-888-621-2127. Text the word start, your name and email address, the number 7 if you used to be a member, the number 9 if you're brand new. Okay, not the Jared. No, not the chat here. Not on YouTube. Not on YouTube, guys. Text that phone number, that texted phone in the text message. The number 7 if you used to be a member, the number 9 if you're brand new. Okay? Text that phone number, the number 7 or the number 9. Again, 7 if you used to be a member, 9 if you're brand new. All right? Again, that's 1-888-621-2127. So guys and folks, that's it. That does it there for me. I'm so excited. I'm amped up to be back in the saddle this week. I missed my TTG fam. It was a big week these last 2 weeks inside of the group. Tons of really great trades by some of the other moderators. It's going to be a wild week. It's going to be a wild week. Catalyst galore, volatility galore. Buckle up, strap in, put the mouthpiece in, strap on the helmet, get ready. It's going to be a wild one, guys. Okay, don't try to trade through this environment on your own. Myself, okay. Ryan, yes. Ryan, that's why I'm asking. I want to know if you guys are previous members, if you're a brand new member, like I said, 7 or the number 9. All right. I'm going to go get some rest. I'm going to try to get some sleep right now because I have to wake up to feed my son at the midnight feeding. And then we wake up again at 3 o'clock, and then I have to feed him again at 6. So I'm going to try to get like 2 hours of sleep right now so I can be as rested as I could be tomorrow. But it's going to be a wild one, guys. All right. I will see you guys all tomorrow. Again, the phone number to text is 1-888-621-2127. The word start, your name, email, the number 7 if you used to be a member, the number 9 if you are brand new. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Take care, folks. I'll see you guys tomorrow.